I figured it was pretty common understanding that not having a great memory is a bad thing. So imagine my surprise when I open my box spreads and think, wait, what? I did that? Or, oh, that's right. I remember this happened. So welcome to just one more reason I love this style of drawing. So in this video, I'm going to focus on times where the box spreads really help me slow down and see my life and remember it. So let's do a flip through. This is Troublemaker Milky Ocean ink in a black matte vanishing point with a medium nib. This is one of those inks that is very different depending on what kind of nib you use it in. In this medium nib, it comes out as a beautiful cornflower. In a thicker nib, you'll get some more variation with some pinks and purples coming through. The memories I can pick out from this would be this pattern of jellyfish. My husband loves jellyfish, and this is what we'll zoom in on whenever we go to a aquarium. An aquarium. Memories of all the What's in My Bag videos that I watch. Quite fond memories. This memory is of the iguana we used to have when I was growing up. Literally. It was a 2-foot iguana named Buddy, and my top memories with him include when he pooped on my lap when I was watching TV. It was disgusting, and it looked like white rain shampoo. And I remember because that was the only kind of shampoo I used for most of my childhood. And then the other memory, we had this 8-foot cage, like a true 8-foot cage. It was kind of the size of a small elevator. And we would put it in the backyard to let Buddy have some outdoor sunshine. And I would sit in it and read. And another memory, you might be surprised to learn, I live in the town where the drunk raccoon bandit was found. Drunk in the ABC store. This drawing predates that bandit, but I do have a love for fat raccoons. This set is the Birch Vanishing Point with a fine nib, and it's Teranishi Nostalgic Honey. You can see my return to excruciatingly unflattering portraits. No need to talk about who these people are. And this is a little recollection of why it always seems like it's time to stop whenever I sit down with my pens. Memories on this page. This is a beautiful stained glass lamp at my parents' house. And it's right in this cozy nook with a violin and a window. And it's just a really nice memory. I'll sit and look at that spot whenever I visit. And of course, I played violin for decades. I never got to be very good, but I do feel like an old pro. Another memory is refilling and inking things with a syringe. Next page, we've got the Pilot 823 mediums with Irisuzuku Suigyoku. This is a beautiful teal. I haven't used this in a much larger nib, but it's interesting. It gets a little darker and a little more concentrated the smaller you go. If you try it in a fine or an extra fine. Some memories on this page. This would just be me drawing my brother. He has a very vigorous beard this Thanksgiving. And this is the bottle of water/vodka that they use at the hibachi grill to clean it off. That just caught my eye when we went there recently. That's one of my husband's favorite restaurants, and we haven't gone for years. He kept trying to go and get the kids into it, and then this time it really clicked. They're just the perfect ages to be mesmerized by all the fire, but also sit pretty still. This page is the Benyu Euphoria in a medium nib with Sailor Raikucha, the earliest and favorite colors. Some memories on this one. Obviously, I have not been to a beautiful paradise with a plane flying over it, so that's just from imagination. But this is a beautiful, I keep saying beautiful, but that's what this book does to me. It has me stop and just see beautiful things around me all the time. This is a ginormous chandelier in a local theater called the Bird Theater. And this has to be like a story tall. It's at the top of the ceiling. Obviously, that's where chandeliers go. So that's an interesting detail. But it's at the top of this large crown in a theater from the 1930s. More memories. This is from the movie Totoro. And this is the dad doing dishes in Totoro. I just loved the pants and the vigor and the energy you could see while he was cleaning. This is my husband, and then the rest is from imagination. And this, I wonder if you'll notice, is my favorite page in the whole book. I was just really pleased with myself. Are you allowed to say that? I think we should all be pleased with ourselves. Some memories. This is my iPhone case, which I'm using to film right now, so I can't share that with you. This is an apple. A long time ago, we went to an apple orchard and picked fruit. And this really stood out to me because my parenting journey has been a lot of not being able to do stuff. And so that orchard trip was one of those prominent breaths of fresh air of, oh, we can do things now. It's not 24/7 about snacks and illness and energy management and doing all the things of life. This is a memory from a friend with high school and his cat. This is a memory from imagination. Is that even a thing? But I envisioned my desk, but with an old school computer, like when I was in high school. So this is kind of my setup here. It's my husband's lamp. And then a larger, massive computer. Do you guys remember those massive computers? You could really brain somebody over the head with the things. This is an envisioning of me sneezing. My cat hates it when you sneeze. I don't know if everybody's cat is like that. This is a leather balm that I have up here. So it's me looking around and trying to draw things from my environment. Pretty proud of that. And then this might be one of the favorite pictures I've taken this year and also that I've drawn. There's this trail by our house. And there have always been little fairy hobbit holes and things by the roots of the trees. But this time I was really sad and I was on a walk and I looked up and there was a gnome on the tree, like just above head height. And it was beautiful. Next, we've got a Decimo with a fine nib and Birmingham Pen Company's Robin's Egg Blue. Some memories. We've got the violin. This was really a big part of my life through elementary school, middle, and high school. So much of my friends and my memories and my after-school time was spent in orchestra rehearsals. It's amazing to think about, and I love the smell of rosin. That's the waxy stuff that you put on the bow so it grips better. I don't play much. I still have a violin, but I switched to cello, and I just play that kind of recreationally. This is my mom in her go-to shirt. She loves a denim shirt. That's all from memory. This is my second place favorite page. So this is the E95 in a fine nib, a favorite pen, with Diatramentus Document Black. This memory, I'll just highlight my sons bicker and fight like any brothers, but they're just always touching when they're home. It's so cute. So they'll share a chair. They'll sit on each other on the couch. This is the backs of heads from somewhere that I was. I can't remember. It looks like people are facing each other. I'm also really partial to these eyes. It was just really fun how they turned out. These two cats, I cannot take credit. These are cats from a calendar that I saw in a shop. So these were letterpress cats in an art thing that I took pictures of and drew. And then this lady, it was really marvelous. I looked up in a restaurant and across the room, she just looked so miserable. She was with this group of people. Her eyes were glazed over. She didn't look sad. There was just something about the look on her face that you could tell she was a million miles away. And I just wanted to remember that. And down here, I tried to recreate a lace pattern. This page is the Winter King of Pen in a medium nib with Teranishi Opera Rose. Another top ink from this year. These are some faces that I picked up from watching a lot of David Byrne and Talking Heads videos. I just tried to draw the shadows. This turned into a theater, and I added these little hatch marks to show shadows. And this was somebody singing. I think it was, again, supposed to be David Byrne. It doesn't quite look like him, though. This frog just kind of happened. I don't know why. And I guess the only memory here is watching the concert, of course, and then drinking from the cup. And then this was, I think, YouTuber Micah Oatley was drawing this perfect duck, and it inspired me to draw a duck. Now we switch. Look how similar these colors are, but they're very different in real life. Gosh, on the page that looks almost exactly alike. That's so funny, because this is, in my mind, creamier and browner, and then this is redder and sharper. But this is my white 1911 L from Sailor with Diamine's Deep Dark Orange, which is a Cult Pens exclusive. Some memories going on here. This is the view into the kitchen at my mother's house. And then these are some springs and things that came off when my son dropped the camera. I got him down the stairs and it shattered. Camera's okay. It's just the shutter, the front cover. And then I started drawing some people in my family. My brother's beard makes a showcase, my niece, and the memory of the butter on the table, and the memory of the corn cobs. Again, this is all very Thanksgiving focused. We went on a trip for Thanksgiving. Back to the matte vanishing point with a medium nib and troublemaker. I loved catching my son here. These are some memories. So pumpkin pie with whipped cream, my son eagerly writing with a robe around his head. And my other son, he still crosses his feet in this adorable way that he did when he was born, and just a totally new baby, he would always cross his feet like that. And perhaps my favorite memory, this beautiful piano that we have, was able to find someone giving it away, so we just had to pay to have it moved to our house. And that's just always been a dream of mine, is to have a piano. I had one in college once, because in college houses, if anything's heavy, you just leave it there for the next people who are going to live there. I think everybody paid $50 to the people who left the piano, and things were just left in a house like that. Sometimes it was couches and mattresses too. Next up, we've got the Sailor Stormy Seas, which is a medium, and Noodler's 54th Massachusetts. This is just a good old-fashioned classic. I don't know that there's any memories here. This is a pattern I developed just by blocking it well. I thought that was interesting. I hadn't done anything like that before. I like the flow of the hands here as well. These are wind chimes. I don't even know what this is. I think it was just two people having a moment in my imagination. I love this pen in the shadow. This is the end of a 1911L. And then this is, I have a thing for duck butts. That might be my favorite visual natural metaphor that ever existed. The idea that these perfect water animals exist, but to get food sometimes, they'll just flip up in the air and show you their butts. It's nothing better. Then we have Deep Dark Orange from Diamine in the Sailor Naginata, which is like an architect, a very thick grind. I don't like drawing with this pen, honestly, but I wanted to give it a chance again, and here we are. I don't care for this, but I'm going to embrace all of my experiments. And I realized with all the underpants that I've drawn, it's always men's underpants. So I was like, well, let's get some ladies' underpants here. Some more patterns, stars, and a cat. Guess the only memory here is baking. When I'm feeling good, that's one of the signs. I'll start baking. On this page, this is the only split page that I did. And I think it's because I just really don't like drawing with these two colors. I didn't want to have to do a whole page with them. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? There's just some inks that click with my brain. So this is the 1911 Al Fresca with Robin's Egg from Birmingham Pen Company. And this is Emerald Sea Glass, which is a Sailor exclusive, and a Decimo with a medium nib. And you can see me just making my way with hatch marks. Not a lot of memories here. This is the Sugyoku on my desk. I started having some more animated style characters and just a lot of talking. It's a lot of words. It's very overwhelming to live. This is the 1911 L White, and another page that I only did this once, but this is two different inks. So I started with Kiyono Oto Cherry Blossom. That's the darker pink. And then I ran out of that in the pen and picked up Pelican Rose Quartz because I had a free bottle of that. This page, we've got another Sugyoku Irishu with the 823. Just a couple memories here. Some scissors, and this is me trying to draw Marge from The Simpsons. It did not work out. More desk items. And these were almonds on my desk. For some reason, I really like how these turned out. There's nothing that distinguishes them, but it is really interesting. Next up, my favorite pages always seem to be this pen with document black. But this is the E95 in a fine. We've got the memory of the humidifier, especially in the winter when my son's coughing. That's a really important thing to have. A special chair from a YouTube video I was watching. A building we drove past. This is a very classic Donald Duck. It's like an old book. And this, I can't remember if it was a YouTuber or a friend in real life. This is a plant I have downstairs. This is windows from a building that are kind of built in. Got a saint of some kind and a chicken. back in the Decimo M as well as a Fresca, so 2 different pens with Birmingham Pen Company Robin's Egg Blue. This overall spread is just okay. I don't know what happened with this octopus doing its hair with lots of different arms, but you can see how the hatching didn't quite work out. I think to make this better, I could have made the hatch mark in the back much finer so that this pops in the front, but that's something I learned along the way. This is my bag because I filmed a what's in my bag. These are little combs in a winter scene. But this is what I want to direct our attention to. This made me so happy. It's from a picture from a book of letters that I have. And this was a huge challenge to me because so much of it comes from shadows. It's this creepy little puppet monkey thing. And to get the face to do that, I really had to disengage my brain from what I was doing and just draw what I saw on the page. That's a really hard exercise for me. And I did it here, and I feel like it came out amazing. You can judge that based on the picture that pops up. This is a surprise color from my friend Jen. She gave me a sample of Sailor Fuji, and I put it in the Fresca 1911L. It's a bit lighter than I usually like, but doing experiments with inks that I don't think I really like is how I find out I like them. So we've got a foot. I thought this was my son, but it doesn't look like anything he'd wear. I think I just really love this texture. It's these little fluff balls floating. We've got a sailor nib and pen. This is my son. A candle hanging in a little thing. And people crying. These are little toys we have around the house. So there's ninja throwing stars and a wooden sword and a helmet. All right, one of my classic favorite inks. I didn't write it down, but this is a medium vanishing point with a silver body and Birmingham Pen Company saltwater taffy. I'm so glad I impulse bought a 60 milliliter bottle of this. I'm only 30% through the bottle, so I should be okay for a long time. Some memories. I tried to recreate beautiful trees. I love how it turned out. These are different scenes around the neighborhood. So these are the lamps at our playground, my foot, the snow on the ground, with the leaves on the ground. I don't have a ribbon on our cat, but this is what she'd look like if I put a ribbon on her. Some pajamas, and just some different play with the color. This is a Decimo with a fine nib for this part, with Irishizuku Momiji ink. Then I switched over to a bold nib with the E95. It's a new bold nib that I'd gotten for this. And you can see, I just find the finer the pen, the more detail I add, and the more I like the picture. Whereas these, I don't see a remarkable difference in skill here, but I just don't like these as much. It's interesting. This is me trying to love Birmingham Pen Company Bellflower. It started much more purple on this side with just the pure Bellflower, and I just don't like it. I do not like it. So I added a little corroded tin from Birmingham Pen Company. Still, I do not like it. I don't know why. I wonder if purple is just going to grow on me in the future. I have to hope. This is the waffles I made for breakfast as far as memories go. This is the cover of a photography book I got by David Byrne. This is the playground where we played, our fire pit, and just more eyes. And believe it or not, that wraps us up for the second part of this sketchbook. There's only 2 more parts. I've got this back section to do, and then a section in the front. I do not think I'm going to finish that by the end of the year, but I do think I could finish it by the first quarter. But as always, filming these walkthroughs is just such a wonderful way to reflect on how far I've come with drawing, and to feel like even if I can't remember everything, even if my health and my life isn't going perfectly, look at this physical reminder of what I was able to do. This is so much better than seeing an extra 5 hours on my screen time on my phone when I check that, So I just want to give a shout out to past Sarah for doing this. And even when you feel so hesitant to claim this title of making art, I was working on this and someone at a playground asked me if I was an artist, and my whole body froze because I was so excited. And I thought to myself, well, obviously not. But to this stranger, I really could be, because I'm just doing art out in the world, and that's really fun. But no, I said I just love to sketch and love pens, and that, I told her what I did for a living. But to have those little moments come up because of something as easy as this little book, it made me really happy. I wonder if other people have moments like that. Do people approach you when you have your stationery stuff out? And do you like it if they do? That might be the question. I love it. When I take it out, I'm trying to send a bat signal for anyone to approach me and talk to me about pens. But I wonder if other people feel that way. Thank you for sticking with me to the end. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see the next time I load different things like this. It's a dream come true to be involved in the art world, however loosely. It's a real privilege.